All Things Bulldogs, mate.
All Things Bulldogs, YouTube, Tuesday night.
Tuesday
live.
night. That's it. Every week, mate.
Things Bulldogs. Big shout out. Up the doggies.
Every Tuesday night we do a podcast, mate. Our big supporters, mate. Things Bulldogs. Yeah. Josh.
And there you go, guys. G'day, everyone. All Things Bulldogs. Big thank you to Ghassan, who got all that footage from the Christmas party. Thank you for doing that with the players, mate. Really much appreciated. Some good laughs there with Lipoy Hopoy as well. We'll wait for a few people to get on. Obviously, it's Christmas next week. I'm not sure if I'll actually be on the road traveling next Tuesday night. But we might do something on the Wednesday. I'm not sure, just quickly. But, yeah, big chance there won't be a podcast next week, but we'll definitely do one the week later. Welcome to Scotty Wood, who's been waiting for everyone to come on.
G'day, Scotty.
Some thoughts and prayers to all the families, victims, friends of the communities out there and the people in the tragic, cowardly event. Happy birthday to Pete Noonan, who wants to come on the show again, he told me, and have a chat. We'll get him on one day soon, but big happy birthday to Pete.
Happy birthday, Pete.
And Kangaroo Killer is on as well. So when we get up to about 20 people, we'll launch into it. Haven't really discussed an agenda tonight. It's been Gas's. Where are you? Where are you coming from, Gas? What's happening?
Novocastrian land, mate, from Newcastle today.
Live from Adam O'Brien's house.
on location. I had a chat with Callum Ponga, and he's happy where he is at the moment. So I said, all good, mate. Stay where you are.
Exclusive from Callum Ponga.
Yeah.
Did you give him a message from Connor Tracy?
Thanks. Yeah, I hope the hat will look good on you too, buddy. Thanks, mate.
Oh, is that the new membership hat? Is that the members hat, or you actually bought a separate one?
That's the members hat. That's the members hat. It's got the 2026.
Can I have a look at the back of it?
Yeah.
Is that a Velcro or it's a Velcro, is it?
Yeah, Velcro. Yeah.
Yeah, the quality of the hats was getting better for a while there.
Yeah, this year and last year's ones were very good. There's similar stuff to each other. The year before was the 23 was a shocker.
Yeah,
24, like they were really thick. In the summer times, you were cooking in them.
And welcome to a new member at 26BJD. Welcome to you, and thanks for joining the channel. The last person to join it so far. And g'day, Aki. Big shout out to you, mate. You're a champion. That's all I'll say. You do your dad very proud. Kangaroo Killer, grade 3 calf tear is what we're hearing on Leo Thompson. That's all right. You come to the club where they sort you out and sort your training out, you're going to get a couple of injuries.
Get it in the off season.
Onward and upward. We'll see him a few weeks in. That's all right. We've got plenty of great players in our club. Welcome to Jason Friskin. Good to see you, mate. Merry Christmas to you, brother. So look, we weren't going to come on tonight just with all the stuff that happened, but no, we won't stop. We'll just keep going and give people something else to think about, hopefully, as well, and keep moving forward and showing the love in our community. And that's what I mean, like, it's funny, rugby league, we go and look at rugby league social media sometimes, and the hostility that's talked about, almost it's as if it's war sometimes, you know what I mean? It goes way over the top. And then, and this is a place of positivity and kindness. And we embrace a community like that, and we have zero tolerance for anything else. Unless I'm tearing people down because they're being fuckwits, but which is a bit hypocritical. But usually I come back around and I'm willing to, like, bring them back in, if you know what I mean, Gas. So
yes, 100%.
What are we talking about tonight? We're talking about all things Bulldogs, brother. So look, we'll and you tell us what you guys want to talk about as well. Like, you're here, you're part of the community. What do you want to know? If Leo Thompson doesn't start the season, what does that mean? How will the team look? We can have a look at those possibilities as well. For me, I think it just means, Josh Curran's definitely in the side. Harry Hayes is definitely in the side. And, maybe a Jake Turpin and a Kurt Mann on the bench with Jamin Salmon. And the rest sort of takes care of itself. But we'll see. There's a lot of competition there, don't you think, Gas?
100%, mate. 100%. So, yeah, it's. Look, we spoke about it the last few weeks. There's a lot of depth that we're starting to build up. So, we've got a lot of people that can jump in and be ready to go. So, like you said, Sam Hughes, Josh Curran. There's a lot of guys. Harry Hayes and DCF, who's got the fantastic strike rate playing for the Dogs. Plenty of guys ready to step up and keep that muscle for us. But look, we'll wait and see. How bad Leo's injury is. I mean, sometimes a calf strain like that could be anywhere between months to a couple of months. Who knows? So let's see what happens in that space.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jason's also talking about Kicks signing again. So yeah, that was the big announcement during our podcast last week as well. We were very happy with that. So, and we did. I congratulated him also on Saturday at Belmore, and for staying with the fold with the team. So he's pretty shy, the big fella. He doesn't say too much, but no, he was very appreciative of everyone's positivity about him staying around. So yeah, it was very good. But it was great to see all the players there. It was an extremely hot day. We were all cooking. In the sun there. We started waiting in the queues in the barriers about an hour before the players even came out. And that filled up pretty fast, and everyone had to pick where they wanted to wait, for which lot of players they wanted to start with. We managed to get through 3 of the 4 lots, which was good, before they said that was enough. So managed to get a few signatures, as you can see, from every player. So it's they were all very generous with their time, and we had a good laugh and a giggle, and they were all very happy to shout out to all things Bulldogs. None better than your man Harry Hurricane Hayes.
That's it.
He was very, very forthcoming. He didn't miss a beat. Tuesday night, yep. I even told him, mate, I said, Mr. Mick here is your number one supporter. Got a photo on his wall. So
see that beam of light coming down across his face? It's like, he is the chosen one.
That's it.
That's
it.
All gods shine on Harry Hayes.
But the scary thing was, if you noticed, Leo was sitting next to Marcelo Montoya, and honestly, Marcelo looked like a school kid sitting next to him.
And he doesn't look small at all, Marcelo.
Exactly, and he was a big boy. So yeah, looking forward to when he's 100% showing us what he's got in the blue and white. But yeah, it's good times, and you would have heard
big Leo, doesn't he? He's a big guy himself.
Yeah, I mean, he's still coming to grips with everything to do with the Bulldogs, and it would have been overwhelming to get his first experience of our passionate supporters who were there in their droves. It was like being at the kennel again. All the familiar faces, everyone was there. Everyone except the banners were all there, and you would have seen the announcement I stuck on yesterday. The Bulldogs have become the first NRL team that's gone to Vegas to take 100% of their full-time staff to Vegas. So that was the scoop I got on the day on Saturday. It was all confirmed. So that is the true family club, guys. So all the staff will be there. Depending on the level of it, they've all got an invite from the full-time staff. Probably just have to cover some of their food and stuff like that when they're over there. But great reward for a fantastic season, 2025. It was very, 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 very profitable from the Bulldogs. Real big influx of sponsors and supporters and everyone there. So all the information we were getting was that it's onwards and upwards in the off season again into next year. So they're very happy. Very happy with how things are going, and they decided. So this is actually causing a bit of disconcern for the other teams that are going to Vegas because they're not doing the same thing. But that's the Dogs are able to do it, so they were happy to offer it to their entire staff. So other teams didn't want to do it, and they haven't done it in the past. So it is what it is. So Bulldogs, they're the first ones to do it. And also, as you would have seen, they're the first ones to put the names on the jerseys as well. So kind of reminds you of the old the Origin days as well, when they've always got their names on the jerseys there. It looked pretty good. So, with big Darryl Eastlake calling the footy. So, yeah. Brings back.
Yeah, look, mate, really good job out there engaging with the players as well. And look, Gas has met quite a few of them before at different events and stuff through his work, and the fact he gets down to training a lot. He's a common face amongst the boys. Lockie Galvin didn't look like he knew who you were, but everybody else, he'll get to know you eventually. Yeah.
That was only the second time I'd spoken to Lockie, so
it's all a bit fresh for the young fella. And they just finished training as well, so it's not like they look. There's a couple of neckheads amongst the community, and it's a typical people. Honestly, I just deleted her off all things Bulldogs. I forget her last name. Her name's Kerry. We celebrate that the Dogs are taking all their staff. They're trying to make it a real serious. It's probably a once in a lifetime event that's going to happen for the Bulldogs over there. Like it's members understand that not everyone's going to be able to go. Some people aren't well off at all of literally sacrificing a lot so that they can go there. There's people getting into debt to go there, whatever it is. Whatever your situation, you love the Bulldogs, that's your choice. But don't sit there and attack the club. What the comment she's made was, and yet again, they do nothing for members. Like, look, I think, as I said, they've done, when they lost all those games, there was plenty of times the players tried to be available and stuff, and these players are more available than any time I've ever seen. I see more footage of these players on social media. We saw heaps of them at Jobal's over a couple of years. We saw heaps of them. So all the people who aren't privileged enough to live in the area have had more access to the players that way. More interactions, seeing more of their personalities come through, not just them on the field. The fact that they're always in the community and you can always go watch them a lot of the time. There's so many training sessions. I would rather them not do a members' day in Queensland if it means they're going to try and win the game of football because they're trying to keep their preparation right. And I even accept that there's 4 games in Queensland this year. We'll be lucky if one of those games there's an actual day before the game where you can do a meet and greet maybe for 45 minutes where they sign stuff for the fans in Queensland. I'll be rapt if that happens, if we get the opportunity for that. But if they're putting their preparation first to win the game of football, that's the best thing you can do for members, is to win the game. And they know it. That's what this club is built on, winning. And we become a club that was a perennial loser. And now we're building that winning habit again. And however they build that habit, that's what they're going to do. So, yeah, if people want to sling... Look, it was a disappointing for some fans that, after the players had been out there a certain amount of time, they couldn't keep doing any more signings. And some people complained about that. And I can understand people complaining about it in the heat of the moment while they're there. But don't get on social media and make out like the whole day was shit because you didn't get all the players' signatures. This is the number 1 TV sport in the country, and you're getting signatures nearly of the entire top 30. That's pretty bloody good. Yeah. Try doing that in the NFL or the NBA or anything. Those signatures are worth thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Just be grateful for what you've got. Stop being so many people are just go on social media and just be so critical of the club when the club's just doing its best. And you can't have the players sitting out there for 3 hours signing signatures. Who does that? An hour's enough. An hour's enough, I think. Anyway, that's just my thoughts on it.
And look, I even responded to some of these comments. I mean, in a positive light, because I said players did an amazing job considering the heat. They finished training. They warmed down, whatever they're doing. They sat out there and they signed. And there was probably one of the best supported clubs in Australia out there waiting for signatures. It's unprecedented. The amount of people that were there was crazy. It was fantastically well received from all walks of life, from your senior supporters, from your young supporters, from your junior, every one of them. There were so many people there. It was fantastic to see. So, it's hard for them to cater to every single person. They'll never stop. They'll be just a signature team rather than a footy team.
Yeah.
So they did an amazing job. The support staff did an amazing job. Everybody did as much as they could, and they got through it. And the players were sitting there. They were ready. They limited it 1 signature per person. That was it, which was great. So some people usually like to turn up with 3 or 4 things to sign. Yep. 1 signature per person, per item, that's it. And the players all had their Sharpies as well. Yep. So you didn't have to supply it. They were sitting there ready. They'd sign. They had an interaction. They even allowed you to sit there and take photos with the players. Even allowed you to shout out to someone's podcast as well. They were always forthcoming. And then off they went, at the end there. And it was hot. They had to get their fluid intakes while they were sitting there as well. And, after training, I mean, anyone knows, you don't want to be sitting around too much like that in the first instance because you can start cramping up and stuff. So, I thought they did a fantastic job. They pleased everyone. They were there for as long as they needed to be. And so, yeah, Seraldo made himself available, went to the stage. They did an interview with him. People were able to stand there and watch that. It was great. Even John Curry made an appearance and was walking around talking to the people. There was a lot of great support from all the Bulldog people and everything. So, yeah, if it happens again, I'll be going again. It was a great event. So for those of you who weren't sure, didn't go, I managed to get whatever I could on the day to share it with you that you couldn't be there. That's all we could do. Tried to throw in a bit of commentary around it. Yes, at times you're basically just waiting in a line, but that's what it was. If we were suffering through it, you guys suffered through it, so it was all right. But it made it easier for us that were standing in the heat, copying some sunburn during that. So, but it was a good turnout, good event. So, Good to get access to those players and be ready for what's coming. So,
to sort of leave that there. Well done to you as well, mate, and to the players, because like whilst you were talking to them, you were engaging, but you kept moving the whole time. Like you didn't stop. You're only there as long as it took them to sort of sign signatures. You sort of kept going. You didn't hold up the line or anything like that, as some people will, because you're carrying two phones at the end there, getting photos with Aki and Birdo and stuff, and with Leo, like absolute professional, mate. Although one you could see like you're either left or I think you must be definitely right-handed. You're holding the other camera, it was getting a really good picture. The other one was sort of going up and down. But look, I loved it all, and I was engaged the whole time. And it was if they had one, when sometimes you go to the toilet and at places and the Wi-Fi cuts out, or you go into different rooms and stuff, and they have these blockers on to stop your phones from working, so you don't use your phones when you go into places and stuff. Because I'll be talking to someone on the phone as I go, like I did the other day. You had me headphones on. I was talking to you as I had to go to a toilet in a shopping centre, and it cut out because of the blockers. Like, I think they must have had something going there. Every time you got close to the players, and you started talking about to Sean O'Sullivan about Jamin Salmon, and it completely cut out when he was talking positively about him.
And for those who missed out on that, the players that were there next to Salmon were all saying how critical and important Salmon is to the team. And to be honest with you, Salmon was the one that was shy, embarrassed, and sheepish just to even listen to his own teammates talk about that. Even O'Sullivan, who just joined the club, obviously played with him before, was extremely complimentary about how vital he is as a player. So it's a great, it was a great endorsement by the teammates there. I can see there, Kangaroo Killer, you're asking what Ciro said. Ciro, it was a bit of a distance away, but from what I could hear, he was talking about the supporter base as well, talking about how this year our fans were so good, comparing us to some of the teams overseas where they've got big supporter bases and everything, and basically, how the training's been going and how everyone's really kicking into the pre-season and getting ready for that. So very good of him to show up and say a few comments, and he was even reassuring us. Yep, the players are finished the training; they'll be out soon. So that was before the players even came out for the signatures. So so it was great for us to see that. So, but overall, very good access to the players by everyone. It was good for us to be able to get out there. And for those who couldn't make it, obviously not everyone could make it. We were giving you a little bit of a snippet into what happened on the day, so you can sort of feel. And I still haven't decided what to do with my signed one yet. Who knows what could happen with that? Could be a prize later in the year. Who knows? Haven't figured that out yet.
Could be a prize.
Who knows?
I've got to put the comments on the stage. Sorry. All right, just we've got to get to a few that we've missed, but thank you to Doggies86. Thanks for joining.
Welcome
to you. Much appreciated for joining the channel. We can't appreciate it enough. Damon Marshall. Now, I went to the source. Well, not the source, but my source. I don't have too many. Never claimed to have too many sources. And, they don't know. Their feeling was that he's not at the club, but I'm not going to say that officially. And I'm still waiting for another person to get back to me. Also got a question about Bulldogs signing days. So, open training sessions and stuff. That's still not all known. but obviously they had the Christmas party, so I'm not sure if there'll be too many open sessions on the way to Christmas. So it'll probably be when they come back. They will, I'm sure they will mention it through the social media as well. And keep asking Gus on Twitter. Gus is probably the fastest way. So the more people that hound him about shit. And look, if he doesn't answer you, don't carry on like a bloody buffoon. Just put your question through, and if he sees it and he can answer it, he will. If it's something that he doesn't want to answer, there'll be a specific reason for it. So you just leave it. You know what I mean? Because you see what happens. People say, we look at the Joey O'Neill thing. Is Joey O'Neill in the top 30? Yes, he is. He never talked about Joey until someone asked about it, and he answered truthfully. 3-4 days later, he's gone to the Dragons. Okay. People start carrying on about. See, what happens is people have no sort of idea about a lot. Well, not all people, but some people don't seem to use their brain to sort of think a little bit before they start shooting from the hip, right? The Joey O'Neill going to the Dragons didn't just happen overnight. He had stuff in his contract where he had to be at the Bulldogs. Okay, it was part of his contract. The question was answered honestly. In that process, though, of course, he would have been transferring to the Dragons. That discussion would have been happening with his manager for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. And it probably would have been signed, 5 or 6 days earlier, but they have to wait until the cooling off period before it becomes official. That's how it works. So Gus is only going to answer things truthfully because that's what happened. He answered everything honestly, and then everyone goes, okay, well, that means there's 31 players in the 30. So who's the 30th? Who's leaving? He can't say. He's not allowed to say. It's against the law for him to say with the rules around rugby league when someone's in a transfer, and it's also not right. And it's not right of the club to sit there and also say, we've released him to the Dragons. Allow the Dragons to announce his signature because that's how it goes. That's what the Bulldogs would prefer, and to be excited about the kid coming to their club. There's lots of stuff from Souths. They're excited about Geordie Mazzoni going to their club. And then we have people talking about, an emergency general meeting because juniors are leaving the club. It's like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. But anyway, guys, just chill. Things happen. They answer questions. So go to Gus, ask him, when's the next training session? We can come down and watch the boys, and he'll get it there to you probably quicker than anyone else. If I get information given to me and people send me a message on Facebook, if you go and join the Dogfather page on Facebook and follow that, the Dogfather's pretty, out there. Sometimes there's a mixture of funny shit and serious stuff. Go to All Things Bulldogs Facebook group, join that. And
Dogfather
if you
Media.
send messages to us, or if you ask questions on posts and stuff, we will endeavour to do our best. But be good about it. Let's go back. Just to
Maybe you need
acknowledge
to
a
play the
couple
intro.
of.
Maybe you need to play the intro again now that you've got a few more people on, mate.
Want to play the intro again?
Timmy's on.
I wonder if I can.
Oh, okay.
I think I can. I think I can just do this and go. Where is it? Sorry, guys. Just having a look here.
All Things Bulldogs.
Here we go.
Things Bulldogs YouTube Tuesday night.
Tuesday
live.
night. That's it. Every week, mate.
Things Bulldogs. Big shout out. Up the
Every
doggies.
Tuesday night we do a podcast, mate. We're big supporters, mate.
Things Bulldogs.
Yeah. Josh.
Yeah, and Josh, he knows Gas pretty well, as you can see. Let's get to some other questions. Scotty's saying, Kangaroo mentioned Galvin training the house down, keen to see him. Yeah, I'll put that up on the feed soon. There's a few. We had Kicks. That was a nice little video of Kickow. He saw the little kid watching the training session and went and played with him for a bit. And someone recorded it. But look, see, that's the thing about players. You know, people talk about a lot of these players and that, whether they're good or bad, or they're arrogant or they're not. There's a big difference when the players come into your environment, sort of thing. So, like they come into your space or whatever voluntarily and interact as a human. You're going to see a really good human most of the time. All the time, it's easy to be great with kids, but what I was impressed with the Dogs of the signing, and as they should, but Gas was putting a phone in their face, and well, not in their face, but he had the phone there. Some players would have the right, you know, to sort of say, like, be off put with it, but the Bulldogs players are, you know, just embrace it all. And as you can see, Birdo, go the Doggies, all things Bulldogs, you know, just great guys. And look, but if you're out in the street, they have no obligation to you. They're not your friend. They've got their own lives. They are celebrities. There is a bit of an obligation there, but, you know, just understand that because some people have given me negative feedback about a couple of players and stuff like that. And I'm like, well, that's just what happens, you know, when you go into their space somewhere when they're just trying to do their own thing. But luckily they're not like in America. Then they would really know what it's like to not be able to go anywhere without being mobbed. Although Belmore can be like that sometimes, can't it, Gas?
Absolutely.
We treat our guys like rock stars more than anyone else.
Or even in India, mate, like the cricketers.
I was at Woolworth or Coles or something at Red Hill last year and saw Selwyn Cobbo there. Like, no one gave a shit. He's just shopping with a basket. And he had Broncos stuff on. No one cared. Scotty's thinking new game plans for next year. Well, that's actually not a bad thing to discuss, Scotty. So we'll get into that in a moment. We'll get back to it. But really good, nice, short and simple discussion starter. And I encourage more of it. Jason's looking forward to seeing Leo Thompson play for us since he's been signed. But Kangaroo Killer saying there was rumours going around on the kennel and stuff that he's got a grade 3 calf tear, which would suck. Now, was there did you have any scoops tonight, Gas?
Just the one I mentioned earlier about the Bulldogs being the first NRL club to take every full-time staff member to Vegas.
Oh, yep.
So,
have you heard anything about any of the players who's impressing people at training and stuff like that?
Sean O'Sullivan apparently was someone that had been extremely keeping everyone on their toes. A couple of the players were talking about him absolutely killing it out there. He's hit the ground running. He's got a ton of experience, and he's been doing very well. So that's kept a few of the other guys on edge. So it's a great position for us to be in, to have all that sort of competitive fight for positions, really, especially this early in the season. So yeah, it's really, really good.
Yeah.
G'day, Pete.
I like this comment from Scotty. Sarah said we'll be the Man United of rugby league. Yeah, I think it will be more like any English team that you've ever seen. And it's true. We just don't want to start arriving at other, you know, you don't want to turn up to Brookvale and with 800 people with batons and sit in their pub before they get there. before you go to the football game and stuff like that. Anyone seen Green Street Hooligans? Really good. Sad movie, but an interesting movie. I enjoyed it. About West Ham and all that. A lot of fictitious stuff, but bit of truth running through it. Peter, welcome to you, brother, and Merry Christmas to you, mate. And we'll have a chat on the phone before then. He says, great message about, or do you want to read that one? Can you see that one?
Michael, great message about Sunday's tragedy, and you're 100% correct. We can't stop living. That's what they want. Also, and also he's thanking us for the coverage of the Christmas party. Yeah, all good, mate.
Shout out to you, brother.
Yeah, no, it's all good. That was an interesting Sunday, that one.
Bob L 132. Do you remember me?
Is that the same?
Do you remember that I do remember you, brother? I remember you.
I remember this question last week and the week before.
He might. It's starting to get a bit creepy now. Just saying.
That's all right. That's all right.
I said next time you say that, you'll have to pay money for it. So I'll actually enforce that. It won't. I won't answer it. Always summer in Australia, and welcome to Caldemont from the USA. Hope you are having a great time. I know it's winter in America at the moment. Some places will be very, very cold. It is always summer in Australia, unless you're in the snowfields. What's the name of your channel, Gas?
Don't Break Defence. That's where the broadcast was the other day, the live. Don't Break Defence. That's named for our banner. Seraldo is the one that gave me that name, so you know the history behind it. It's what they call their defence between their walls, their four walls. They've got that phrase that they talk about, don't break defence, when they're talking about their D. So that's what we called our channel. And our banner is about the brick wall, which I haven't got tonight because I'm on location in Newcastle today. But you see the banner with the brick wall. It's Seraldo's favourite because it fits right into his defensive mindset. And in regards to that comment before about the game plans, I think potentially those game plans could be, a few things that Mr. O'Brien might come to the party with. Who knows? So let's see if there's some new game plans for the Dogs this year. But yeah, Don't Break Defence is the channel that I've got. So more than happy for you guys to join up if you like.
Well, I've just posted it there on the chat. That's Facebook. They can add you as a friend. Have you got an actual page or as well, or is it just like a Facebook profile?
That one's like a profile of that one, so I haven't created a page or anything else like that yet. So I give most of my time to this All Things Bulldogs as well.
You might be able to create the page, stream this live from it, get followers and all that sort of stuff, and also put the dog father in there as well. So click those links, click follow, add Gas as a friend, and hit him up. And look, if you're going to the games and stuff, build the community. You know what I mean? Gas is in the kennel all the time. But let's
Section
talk to our good
guys.
mate Timmy.
Timmy.
Good evening,
G'day,
legendary champion Ghassan. I hope everyone else is having a wonderful evening. The Christmas party was fun. And Gas has been to the tan salon.
That was that was standing in the sun at Belmore. I got absolutely cooked. I was admittedly unprepared. It was straight after a round of golf. I was cooked. So
absolutely.
My fault for not putting any cream on.
I'll get to Kangaroo Killer in a minute. He comes and has some good questions. Oh no, what am I doing there? Timmy says sorry he got on late. He's been working, been able to get on.
Nice bucket hat you had on there the other day, Timmy.
He goes, I didn't get to the last of the players signing autographs. The table Critter was on, but remember the players had finished the training session. Yeah, well, Critter was with all the supplementary development players and some of the train and trialists. So he was the only top 30 member there. So, yeah. G'day, Joby. Good to see you, brother. Great talking to you today. We'll chat again tomorrow. Let's get back to... Sorry, going a bit everywhere with the chat tonight. Showy 68. Sorry for later roll. I had my granddaughter over. That's good. Shout out to everyone. And there's Timmy.
Yeah.
Timmy's wearing his hat I sent him. Actually, it was only supposed to be the new logo, but it stuffed it up anyway. I ended up getting that. But it's got the old and the new. So there you go. And I like it. It's really a good little concept. It's embracing the past. You know, it's recognizing the past and embracing the future, part of the Bulldogs motto. And that kept Timmy out of the sun, didn't it? Kept his face out of the sunburn. So well done.
Yeah.
Thank you, champion.
Good job, mate.
All right, bro. Time to go, mate. Who's this dickhead? That's rid of him. I probably shouldn't do that. Some people do weird stuff on YouTube and like send you $1,000 and that just because they want to troll people and stuff. We had old Chopper here last year paying $50 a super chat.
There's only one Brian, mate, as well. Oh, I lost you there, mate. You're muted. You're on mute, mate. You're on mute. Not sure if you guys can hear him. Am I the only one that can't hear him? Okay, I'm not the only one. You're showing as mute on my side.
Oh, here we go. Is that better?
Fat fingers. Yeah, that's all right. It's much better now.
I don't know what happened. Anyway, I was just talking about a bloke who was paying me $50 and super chats and that, and then next minute he wanted to get access to the channel, and he's ringing me up at 10:30 at night saying we've got to go live because of news that just come out about the Bulldogs and stuff. I'm like, no, I'm at the movies with my family, mate. He said, okay, that's the type of quiz we get on this place sometimes. So yeah, and some of them have got money. But, you know.
Yeah, welcome, Jamie. That's as quiet as you'll ever hear Mick with his mouth moving.
G'day, James. Jamie's now James Teasdale. How are you, James? Jimmy from Ipswich.
Thanks for joining thanks for joining the Christmas party the other day, mate.
Yep, he was.
We've lost you again, mate. Can't hear you, Mick.
Is that better?
That's better.
It keeps muting my mic. YouTube's had enough of me.
And just for those who were on the chat the other day asking the questions, I do apologise if I did miss some of those questions. It was very hard to get signatures, do the video, ask the questions, and then read the questions at times, unfortunately. And I think I did miss one there from our good friend, Miss Uda, asking the question as well that I did miss. So if I did miss out, sorry guys, it wasn't intentional. Are you back, mate, or what's going on?
I am. It's as if my cord. Every time I bump my cord, it mutes it.
No, it's happened again. Ever since you mentioned Chopper, mate, that's what started happening.
Chopper's been. It's all right. Yeah. So it's like the cord inside the mic. It's got a bad connection or something. I might have to change the cord. But every time I bump it. But get on there, guys. Like and subscribe. Junior trials. Yes, great. Thank you for saying that. I wanted to talk about the junior trials. So the SG Ball team played, Harold Matson SG Ball played the Penrith Panthers last week. You can see the footage on Bar TV, which is $19.99 a month. Or if you know someone who's got an account and they're happy to share it, speak to them. That can be a real help. Do the bird hands. I'm not sure what it is, Scotty. What is it? Is that it or what is it? I don't know. Sorry. I'm not even going to talk about what I just did. But Jimmy says, yeah, mate, James, Jamie, Jimmy, or Dickhead, whatever you want. Yeah, that's the same, mate. Mick, Mike, Michael, Wanker, Dickhead. Kangaroo says, Tom Galvin. Yeah, look, there was some really good players that played on the weekend. The SG Ball side beat Penrith 6-4. It sort of looked like the majority. So they had a majority of a team play first half. We had Matthew Baccarat. You can check out his video I did last year. He's a 7. He scored a try. There's a lot of tries sort of scored from close range and stuff. There wasn't too much enterprising sort of tries scored by a lot of the sides. Like there was some good breaks and backups and stuff that were made. I've got to get the names of all the players though, because there was some players in that game that were sensational in the way they went about things. CJ Uday played. He played some fullback. I think first touch, he catches a bomb under pressure, then beats 2 or 3 players. He then in the second half, so he come on the second 20 of the first half, and then the second 20 of the second half. In the second half, he played left centre, and really didn't get any ball. Like they just weren't getting the ball to the edges. Just the way it pans out for centres sometimes, and trials are like that. People are literally fighting for positions, and some people are more. Some players will be more hungry to try and show their wares. They'll take the run, or they won't pass, or or they'll just push others out of the way to take the hit up. You know what I mean? And some are more relaxed and just get through the trial, because they know their ability, they know how well they can play, and they may not be fighting as hard for a starting berth as some of the others in the team. The Harold Matts team lost by the same margin, so it was 6-4 to Penrith. So they're Mark O'Mealy's boys. You've got Steve Turner runs the SG Ball side. They've done pretty well over the last few years. They've obviously 2024 made the grand final against the Dragons. They got blown off the park early, but a lot of good players in that game. that will be NRL players for a long time from both sides. And we managed to bring one of those players across from the Dragons in Fainu Latu. So I'll get some more information on that game, but it was really great to watch the kids play and watching them having a good time and get around each other and be happy scoring tries against the Panthers. So I watched the SG ball game and I sort of flicked through the Harold Mats. But yeah, really busy time for me at the moment as well with work. Obviously, I'll have a break like most people, so I've got to, everything's loading up. I do a lot of deliveries and bring gifts and stuff like that to people, so it's a busy time, obviously, with the holiday season and Christmas coming up. I'm not sure if Galvin played, but I need to speak to a couple of people to get some more information. If there were a few people that went to the game that I saw, Scotty Schultz and all that were there, Andrew Edmonds from Elite Pathways, obviously, and a lot of the parents of the kids that are in the side. I think Bruce is on All Things Bulldogs and plenty of he one of the old fellas. He gets around with the major bunch of what I call the fans that their life is going to any sort of game where there's a Canterbury Bankstown Bulldog player playing there, whether it's under 15s or the women's or what, they just get around to everything that they can where there's a Bulldogs jersey, and they're the type of fans that every club needs. So big shout out to those guys and girls. Night to you, doggies, and thanks for joining. And that's the great thing about our podcast. You can listen, you can flick through it, you can go back, you can do it however you want. And yes, I will post that. Galvin broke that 1.2 kilometre record. I saw someone at the Cowboys did it in about 4:18, 4:19, and Galvin, I think, was 4:15 or 16, and then he ran 4:14 for the 1.2 kilometre thing that they do. So that shows you the stamina of the kid. And that's why that kid was still, throwing assists in that semi-final late in the game.
Yep.
Timmy, Jack Ennis had a run. Is that Michael Ennis's kid? I would suggest it would be. Yeah, CJ, the times he touched the ball, he looked fantastic, and he was often pushing up in support, didn't get the ball and stuff like that. Probably not his best. That's what I mean. Like, there's some kids that were just, it was like they're playing for their life, which is great to see, really good to see. And some were probably not as animated in their efforts. Oh, that's great. We'll keep an eye on Will Pearson. Timmy, you might be able to recruit him over to the Bulldogs if he's any good. Is that it? I don't know, Scotty. Oh, Abby's all right, mate. She's just a bit Look, I didn't like her on The Bachelor. I will say that, but she's all right. Let them be. Who cares? They work it out eventually. Good with the bad is what I say. Sorry, my colleague's son played for the Panthers. Oh, there you go. Oh, did he get it down to 4:12? Did he, Kangaroo? That's bloody phenomenal. Well, obviously the work he was been doing with Roger Fabry, who also got a big shout out when you were chatting to Bronson Cherry at the party.
Yep.
That was good. That was really good to watch as well. Yeah, Tommy did and won it at the Cowboys. So there you go. All right, Gas, what have you got to add for me, brother?
Not too much, mate. It's It's going to be a good. I think the players will be stopping this week, and I think they'll be coming back on the 4th of January, or 4th or 5th of January, I was told. So everybody, the whole club, everyone will be stopping for 2 weeks. So all have a bit of a break, not much to do, refresh, and come back out. So that'll be good as we count down to Vegas. So for all of those tracking the countdown as well, tonight we'll be posting 74 days to go. So
yeah, I've got to update the website with all that. Haven't done it for about a week and a half.
Yeah, it just it goes fast. There's some interesting stats today. So 1974. Does anybody remember how the Dogs finished in 1974? If you're not sure, you can find out tonight. Find out soon when I post that, the position we finished that season. And player number 74 as well. So, yeah. So some interesting stats there all the time. It's good to see.
I like the new little bit part you brought into it with the year. So 1974, 1973, and where we finished for the year and stuff.
Yeah.
So eventually, when you get down to 25 and that, you'll be able to do 2025 and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always evolving.
Always evolving. That's it.
It's also the date's been added on there as well. So if anyone noticed that as well, of the date that's been posted, so it's snuck itself on there as well. There's always something happening in there. I don't know. Whichever way the wind's blowing, I go that way.
G'day, D. Welcome to you, champion, and always coming in with a funny bloody little comment. What's Ciro's favourite band? Tenacious D. The greatest song in the world. And he's Galvin Wonder Boy. Aaron Lynch, g'day to you. Oh, Scotty joined you. Don't break the fence. And g'day,
Thanks,
Jay.
mate.
Welcome to you, champion. Jay looks like he's a young fella. He was at the Christmas party, couldn't see us. Well done for going. I hope you got a lot of signatures, champion. And, I love your love for the Bulldogs, mate.
Sorry, mate, I was stuck behind my phone. You might not have seen me.
Oh, thank you, James. Thanks, Dickett. How terrible. No, fucking hell. Like, that's amazing. Well done. Much appreciated. Looks like Gordon Chan Kum Tong is fitting in well. I think second loss against Roosters, I think. Oh, they played the Roosters, did they? Look, I think Gordon Chan Kum Tong, we remember him when he played I think he played in that game where Manly beat us 66-6. It was his debut. He even got to kick a goal. He's a Bulldogs junior. He'll definitely fit in well, and he'll be part of the top 30 next year. And that's good. We need that youth. We need that. He's got that Bulldogs pedigree. He's skillful. He's committed. He's tough. We just got to see how he goes and progresses. And he's downgraded from a top 30 spot to a development spot to get back to the Bulldogs club, and that's really good. We've had great success with these types of signings, guys. So thanks for putting that up, Jamie. Really appreciate it, mate. But if you remember, Karaz, top 30 position, relinquished it for a train and trial to be back at the Bulldogs. Marcelo Montoya has come back to the Bulldogs, even when the fans treated him like shit. And some still do, unfortunately. But how great is he going? And you couldn't have found a more consistent, solid player for our team from round one. In that all those games we won, he was just an absolute rock solid for our team and club last year. And look, I do understand the discussion about having that extra speed on the edges and stuff. However, and look, there was some moments where, the Fox may have scored points there, but you've also got to remember that there's also would have been moments where Marcello got us to positions in the field, which gave us more opportunities to attack and to really put teams under the pump through the effort and energy they had to use to tackle him to start. The amount of times he knocked people out with his hip, I think was 2 or 3 throughout the season. So there's always pros and cons to every player. And, big shout out to him. The little mighty midget sitting next to Leo Thompson.
And I think Jamie was referring to the Bulldogs' 1974 position. So I think he was very close to the mark there.
Did we made the grand final in 74, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah, very good, very good.
We did get him back in 1980 though.
The Roosters 74, 75 side, Russell Fairfax at the back and stuff, is one of the greatest rugby league sides of all time. Like, they were the type of side where if you're going for another club, they were so good, people started following the Roosters because of how good their team was, that sort of team.
They had Russell Fairfax, John Peard, Ron Coote, Arthur Beetson was captain.
Yep.
Unbelievable. So Johnny Mays, Bill Mullins was there, Johnny Brass. Yep. There was a plethora of stars of yesteryear for anyone who knows any of those players.
Mullins. He was Mullins' dad, wasn't he?
Could have been. Wasn't that?
No, I think he
Chip
was.
Chip and Chase by Mullins. Chip and Chase again by Mullins. That was the Raiders against the Broncos.
Oh, there he goes. There we go. Yep. Kangaroo, do you think the Buller leaves the Tigers? Look, I have no idea. I think that. Look, I think it's coming to Bulldogs games to watch his mate Lockie Galvin. It's all part of being visible. He's been visible with his contract. He's going to do well for his family. I don't think he'll be at the Bulldogs, but he may. I could be wrong about that. I have no idea, to be honest. That's just my gut feel. There's no real talk about it other than people sort of thinking it makes sense because he's also with Galvin's manager now. He joined up with Isaac Moses. And I think, but see, Braithen Astor basically made out like Isaac Moses is trying to get him out of his contract because Moses won't get a cut of it for the 2027 or season, I think it is. Buller's contract, I think, is worth like 800 or 900. It goes up a couple of $100,000. And because it was negotiated by the previous manager, they get the money still, apparently. And Astor was trying to sort of make out like that's why Moses wants his player to break his contract. I'm like, but so the player's going to forgo $200,000 potentially and not get that as much money for that year.
Just to make his manager money.
Just to make his manager, like what manager is doing that? Unless he's signing $1 million deal, like that's a little bit different. Maybe we'll just see Buller just hold off for a little bit. If he goes out and play and doesn't get injured and plays well for West Tigers, he's got a really good contract he can fall back on if things don't go that well. If he's playing really good and there's a team that really wants to buy him, he might be able to get an upgrade and a really long deal. And I'm sure he will. Good question, and thank you so much for that. Another good shout out, Timmy. Josh Reynolds came back to us to bring that DNA. They're trying to fit people in the top 30 still. We've got 30 players. So someone asked about Zion Mayu'u. I saw that somewhere. I think it might have been Killer as well. He's still in our top 30. He's been at training.
Signing autographs.
Hopefully he has a really good preseason and things pan out well for him. I'd love to see that. I would really love to see that. And that's what I mean. Like, if he's there and everyone's stepping up to the plate and he decides to own things, like, look, if he starts playing New South Wales Cup and getting through 20, 25 minutes and he's, skittling defenders and he's putting people on the ground and the team's doing well, and then he's coming on for another stint and he's playing a good role, that's all he can do. And if he starts doing that, well, the fans who we'll watch the cup games and that, so we'll be like, this guy's knocking on the door, you know what I mean? All I could say about last year is it just didn't pan out for him. Like, he got off there were times that they were actually real strategic. He'd come on off the bench and he'd be off the back fence, and then they would they'd dummy to him and pass the other way, and we'd actually make a break because opposition defenses were like prepared for this guy to come and crash down the wall and shit. And then his next run, like, the ball would just be a bit behind him or whatever, and it'd be off a slow play, the ball, or he might have been defending for 4 sets in a row before he actually got his first run, so it took the gas out of him, all that sort of stuff. These things are so imperative for these big boys. That's what used to happen with a Franklin Pele, for example. If you could get him on fresh and you're running downhill, he'd just keep you powering downhill. But if he's got to go out there and defend for 3 sets first, he's got no energy left by the time it's time to give him the footy. So I think Zion's a bit more fitter than him, but we'll have to see. Scotty's happy with Gordy. You got anything to add here? You want to read through some, Gas?
Yeah, look, definitely Montoya and Carraz, and even I think Joby mentions Montoya was good for us this year. Like, definitely those guys, especially a fit Carraz, were big for us, getting us off our line. Between Tracy, who was the number one, meter eater from the back lines, from the kick returns to these guys, it was great for us to get off get our sets off to a good start. And we had quite a few games where we were caught out, if you remember, in there, and it was Birdo's big kick that was getting us out of trouble. Kind of sort of what happened for us, late in 2024, if you remember a couple of those games, we went to Golden Point, the Sharks and the Warriors, we were sort of struggling to get off our, out of our half, and Birdo was just kicking them down, and then a few times this year as well, we had that where the guys were, we felt like we just couldn't get out. But definitely when our team that we've got on there is all out there, with the defense that they've got, the way that they work for each other, the discipline that they've got. And I still think this year we went away from our discipline as the year went on. It was just inevitable. When you lose players, you get fatigued. We really stuck to our guns in the first half of the year, even though we were playing teams that were technically beatable. We could have really been pumping these teams even more. There was quite a few games where we lost our patience and we started to try to play some footy and we just weren't ready for it. I think another year under our belt, a more dynamic halves pairing now with Galvin in there full time. I think we're going to hopefully see the start of the attacking flair the Bulldogs are going to have next year, 2026. I think that's what we're going to need to complement our defence. As much as we, ended up winning the best defence in the league last year, we can all admit that, we still conceded too many points in the latter half of the year for many, many, many reasons, which we've covered multiple times. But when we start to get our attack right, and when I say get it right, like when we start to get those games where we, even if you look at the Manly game, that wasn't. I know we smashed them in at Allianz, but it wasn't like that game was just us dominating. That they were giving it to us the whole game. There's a lot of games like that where we just weren't able to put teams away when we really could have or should have, and we had to, like Michael's said multiple times, we had to win the games twice. If our attack really gets into the position where it should be, like some of these big teams, then we'll start to win some games easier, just by having that good attacking flair and structure. And I think that's going to be the difference for us. That's when we'll be a real premiership threat. This year we were sort of clinging on in a way, hoping that we'd sort of get there. But if we get it right next year, I think it's not just going to be our defence that's going to win it. It's going to be the ability to put some points on as well when we want to, which then gives you the ability to sort of, finish games off a little bit easier rather than just keep playing. Because that worked against us. When you have to play 80 minutes every single game, it takes a lot out of you. It does.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's what I thought anyway.
Really, really good analysis, mate. And just to expand on that, more of the point you're making towards the start is that, the impatience at times, I felt it was funny. I was watching Reid Marnie a lot of the time. He's a player who really likes to, he wants to play footy. He loves the attack side of things. He obviously revels in the defensive side of things as well. But sometimes I felt like he'd just be so anxious to get it on. And we'd make errors and stuff. And then he'd also, I just felt there was too many hero plays coming from that direction. I just think we're going to have a bit more poise. Now, I think Lachlan Galvin, he's a player I think one of the reasons that Gus really loves him and wanted him at the club is he's a little bit like James Maloney in the fact that he just keeps firing shots. He doesn't sort of disappear, and he's willing to keep trying things even if it's not on. And that comes with experience. Like, so you'll see that he threw some balls that were like shit. And then he's like looking to blame someone. And as a kid, that's normal. As a lead singer in a group, yeah, they have that little bit of arrogance about them. And look, the people can see it, who made the error or whatever else. Like, and I really like Burton and him as a partnership, to be honest, because Berto's so laid back. Like he don't give a shit. And that's part of the reason why a lot of Dogs fans haven't warmed to him, probably from the older generation where everything is about winning. And he sort of doesn't look like he doesn't look aggressive. He doesn't look like he's straining himself to make it happen. But I think as he's getting older, you can see how much it means to him a bit more. And that's getting him more fans from some of the traditional supporters. He's one of the club's favourites, and so he should be. And I really like the fact that he's sort of laid back. I think that energy would be good for Galvin. And I also think that Galvin will learn to be a little bit more selective as he matures, which will be good for us as well. But if there's a pass to be thrown, I'm pretty sure he's going to be someone who's willing to pass it. And yeah, look, you just got to go. I actually went back and watched a lot of his first season in 2024 with West, and I can understand why Gus sort of fell really like this guy, and not just from an attack point of view, from a defensive point of view. Now, and I said this big time, he's going to concede some post contact just through the fact he's a kid. but he still puts his body there. He's still there. He's still jumping on guys. He's still reading where they were going. You know, if they were running the footy, they might have poked through, but he didn't shirk the task. He's still there, you know, like he reads the game very well, this kid. And yeah, look, he might not turn out to be as good as Brad Fittler or Laurie Daly or any of the best kids or Darren. People forget how young Darren Lockyer was when he come through as well. Carmichael Hunt, all these youngsters that come through and played really well. Billy Slater. He might not get to that level, but it won't be surprising if he does. You know what I mean? I think it was really disgraceful of a TV show full of ex-players, especially an ex-Bulldog, to sort of talk it down and look around the room like they're having a conversation. He's not as good as Brad Fittler and that. And he's not that. Like, what's Gus talking about? He's nowhere near as that. I'm not seeing it. Like, just putting shit on him, basically. And I just don't see how that's how these people should conduct themselves in that position, especially when talking about 19-year-olds. Yeah, I get it if someone's going to build someone up. Yeah, I get it. But you can do it in a different way, you know what I mean? Say, well, I'd just leave it at that, you know? I don't know. I've had enough. The Galvin story just kept on going and going and going and going and going. And it's not right.
We'll have the last laugh when we raise the premiership, mate.
Just one point, David, there with the forward pack. Blake Austin, he talked about that. He thinks Galvin will really benefit from having a sort of having some enforcers break a team down, but then having some real energy off the bench that he can take advantage of. Because you're sort of thinking like a Nelson Asafa Solomona to come on and play 15 minutes at the back end of a half. That would really suit a Lachlan Galvin with his running game and stuff. And he'd know Blake being a Penrith junior, a running 5'8" with a lot of talent, and quite skillful as well. And rather, he wasn't small by any means. So I think there might be a few similarities there that he can sort of call on when he makes that call. Yeah, I reckon we'll see a lot of these young pups, Gas, in the trials, especially with. What do you reckon, though? You reckon we'll see about maybe 40 minutes of our main squad?
Yeah.
Before they go to Vegas?
Yeah, they'll just want to just get them have a run and then just take them off. So it won't be too extravagant, I think, for them. I think most of the work they'll do will be behind closed doors for us.
Yeah.
But he will just want to see them just get out there and have just one solid hit out, you know, for at least one half.
Do you reckon they'll do? I know they usually do the solid hit out in the second game, which is normally a fortnight before round one. We're going to play a game back to. They normally have a fortnight between trials as well. I think they're going to play back to back, so they'll play. Is it Cowboys then Newcastle, or Newcastle then Cowboys? I can't remember now.
Yeah, I think they'll play. I think the first game. I think they'll put. I feel the stronger of the teams give themselves a bit of a buffer before Vegas, and have them primed for when they get over there, so they're not too close. And as much as it's going to be disappointing for the fans, I think the big break, if they get the win over there, which is obviously a big if, but. If that big break they have when they come back will be a good reset for them as well. Hopefully get the 2 points under the belt, have that bye and that extra week off. And then, yeah, I know it's quite a bit of time for us to see them again, but I think that'll be good for them because some teams have come back from Vegas and had a bit of indifferent sort of results after that. It does take a little bit out of you because that time zone change is pretty big.
Yeah. And I can see a ticker tape parade down out of Belmore
Billwood Road.
Win at Vegas like we won the grand final.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they could do something, sign off some of their jerseys, auction them off.
I'm sure they're all things to be considered. So,
all things to be. Yeah, Timmy I mentioned Franklin Pele before, and yes, I heard that that he could be going to South Sydney. Seems that they like a lot of Bulldogs juniors and ex-Bulldogs players. And Killer also said that Daniel Saluka Fafita looks very fit, even changed his body a bit. Did you ever know DSF from when he was at South, Gas? Did you ever meet him?
Yeah, once or twice, mate, out there. But
he looked like he knew you.
Yeah. We'd seen each other quite a few times. He was also there last year for the Ramadan celebration that we had during Ramadan. For that evening, he turned up as well, and he was there, gave a lot of his time as well. So he was there on the night as well. So yeah, we've crossed paths a few times now.
Yeah, I really like him, hey. I hope he comes out and just builds off what he did last year, because I feel last year was a pretty good season for him. Considering he had a massive time off with that injury. And people don't will also, I remember this clear as day. His return match in reserve grade, he made 125 meters from 6 hit-ups.
Wow.
That's how much, build up it was to that match between the last time he played and to that game. And then he had the off season last year, obviously. So having this next preseason under his belt, he'll be fitter than he's been. He'll be musclier. That sounds so pathetic. He's just going to be in peak condition.
I think.
Yeah, he'll be muscular.
He'll definitely be trying to push himself in the pecking order ahead of Sam Hughes. That's what I feel like, and he's definitely got the attributes and the drive to actually get there. I mean, it's going to be it's great. It's great for us to see, players competing even for the bench spots, even just to get in the 17. It's great to see. It's so many times, like it's at the moment, if you had to pick our 17, anyone could pretty much do it within one or two players. Wouldn't be too hard to do. But it's that next sort of, 5-10 players that are next in line. That's the harder ones to pick at the moment. Like who's going to be, and that's where it's a good thing for us at the moment. Our best 17 at the moment is pretty, solid and strong, but it's the next batch that's going to shape the season for us. We've got to have a lot of opportunities for those players to step up. And if they can continue on what the first 17 is doing, we're going to be in a really good position next year.
We are. Look, Kangaroo's got a lot of coming out, putting up some good talking points. So he's saying that Ciro told Fletcher Baker that he's very impressed with his training. So Fletcher Baker's another one where, the Broncos don't buy a player for no reason. Hasn't worked out there, obviously, but they got Payne Haas, Patrick Carrigan, Willison, Piakura, you name it. They've got it. And they got the experience of Jensen, who, doing a good job. So Fletcher Baker, might not have worked out there, but he might come to Belmore, and maybe our coaching staff, our system is just better at getting these players, when you give them an opportunity to really push hard and become seasoned NRL players, like the next mention here, which is Max King. He's just proof of that. Absolute proof of that. Encouraged to give it another crack, does so, and he's an Origin representative, living his best life. And without the mould that you had a good chat with him at the about Well, it
Yeah,
shows that you're following and you listen, and that you've got context and understanding around. When he makes 38 meters in a game, it's because he's not right.
Mm.
Having that being affected like that, it's like having bronchitis and smoking 3 or 4 bongs or something before you run out on the field. Like you just got he would have had no lung capacity. He would have had no energy. He's just debilitated, but still refused to not play. Maybe he should have just said, "Hey, I can't play,"
But he was just as you can see by his reaction, he was just as confused as anyone. Like to understand why his output was affected.
Yeah.
It was something that was just blindsided him. He had no idea what it was. Like until they figured out that was the problem. It's one of those things. It's like an axe that's not sharp. He kept delivering, but if it's blunt, it's not going to have the same effect. And that's what happened to him. He kept doing what he could, but there wasn't that same output. So now that he's got himself back, hopefully he's going to be a lot more effective, and he could see that, and he made reference to that as you alluded to with the comments we made together the other day. He was commenting about how surprised he was that something like that could affect him so much. So, yeah. And Timmy's, I think, mentioning about Baker will probably be in the mix for a debut, probably during the Origin period. If Max King I would have to say Presto would be a huge, Presto's going to be the player for us that's going to really go to that next level. He was. You probably, I don't know if you saw he was so chumped that the tour that he had. He absolutely loved it. He was jumping out of his seat just to talk about it. He loved it. He's back. He's ready. He is going to be, a superstar for us. He's one of those players that you don't want to let go of. He's got every attribute you want, from defense to attack. He's got speed. He's got vision. He's got great hands. He's got everything. And they're the kind of players that you want to be around. You want to have in your team. So, I think he's going to be in. There's quite a few of them, but I think he's one of the players that's going to be, ready for a massive, massive season now. As he's done, he's been one of our most consistent players every game he plays. So,
good shout out to lots of good shout outs. Killer, you're doing a good job. Connor Tracy improved a lot as well. And he's just one that's just continued to improve. And as I've said many times, he might be 29 going on 30 or whatever, but the amount of injuries he's had and the fact that he, played as a utility off the bench, sort of been in and out of first grade until he got to Canterbury. His body is a lot younger as far as what it's had to deal with in relation to playing first grade. By 29, you're usually over 150 matches, you know what I mean? You're getting towards 200 games when you've been in the NRL for as many years as Connor Tracy has. So, good shout out. He says, Hayward to cement the 9 spot, Gordon to play 14 by season 10. Yeah, look, Gordon will get a lot of opportunities. I'd love if Jake Turpin could stay, not get injured. You've got a real player there. Like defensively, for what our system wants and needs, he's everything. He can do that. It's ridiculous how people don't value players like that. That at that size, that can get in there and make 40 or 50 tackles with 1 or 2 missed, and nearly every single tackle win the contact against bigger blokes. Like he's a defensive hooker. He doesn't kick the ball. He barely runs. But we saw him there when he should have been scoring that try against the Dolphins. You can put him into that 13 role and he will run. He has got some punch and can get to his front and play the ball quick. So he's a little mighty might, and I see that from Gordon as well. I think it's really good that they've got that. And not to forget a young fella, which will be a project for the club, and hopefully not all of these young hookers have had a good success rate sort of progressing. I remember we had young Cook, and Ruben Moyle was supposed to be a part of that. I think he's gone to Souths or trying to. There's but young Patrick Young got a really good attacking flair as well. So scoring a lot of tries, good player. He's going to get the ball off the deck, really fit. And he's in the top 30 and well-deserved for him. So he's another one to watch coming through the grades. Boy band or group like 5 seconds of summer. Bit more muscle up front with Tomo will help immensely. Well, it does. It just adds that depth. But look, even if he's not in the side, if he's injured to start or whatever, there's still a lot of other players there, you know what I mean? We haven't really lost anything. So when he plays, we're gaining. Plus, another preseason for Haywood, DSF from injury. Another preseason for Satili Tupanua. Preston still so young. Birdo's so much more experienced than when he come to the club. All this matters. Stephen Crichton, he's still, 25 years old? Been playing at a way reduced capacity due to numerous injuries that he's just carried as part of the job that they're working on to fix. Get him to full speed, full health, full fitness. We might be seeing that stuff that he did against the Raiders on, way more often. Not to mention his defensive work. There you go. Scotty's excited about DSF. Luke Geary gave Galvin a big rap.
Yep.
Leo Thompson, Max King, Jacob Preston, Viliami Kickow. How good is that looking? And then you add, the weak gutted dog interchanging with the man. One of them gets injured. Maybe Finau Latu gets a job. And I'll be doing the Latu audio article. I might even do it tonight while I might walk the dogs after this and narrate the audio article. I'm trying to get a bit of footage from when he played at the Dragons in that as well. But definitely an energetic sort of guy that just wants to win and has that competitive streak about him. And, you're going to see some good young forwards coming through the Dragons in this first game if they're fit and firing. The Couchman brothers, what's his friggin' name? He looks really good. The Blondie fella for the Dragons. I think he'll play 13. They've basically let that guy go to Parramatta because they had to give this fella a lot more money. I forget his name. I shouldn't forget his name, but he's a real fucking handful. And they didn't want Latu to go, but they got a lot of talent there in that Dragons pack. I'll tell you that much. Man, my 14 every day. Well, I'm just saying I can't wait till we've got a 13 that can play most of the match and give space to the halves when needed. I can't wait for that day. I'm just waiting to see who that player will be.
DCF showed a lot of maturity as a man and a footballer in 2025. So, he was huge. And he had an inconsistent season when you think about the games he was playing. He wasn't playing in all the games. So, but every time he stepped up, he performed. So that shows, that adds to that maturity. Like it's great. And definitely Sam Hughes had a big setback last year, at that start of the year, and he was sort of behind the eight ball the whole year. Even when he did come back late in the year, he just wasn't himself. He wasn't the same player that finished 2024 for us. If you remember that player, he was he was running on all cylinders for us in that second half of 2024. So I think by that stage last year when he did come back in, sort of like, we pretty much needed him. We'd lost so many players, and we needed that extra depth from an experienced player.
Well, he also had two shoulder injuries. His rotator cuff was 80% off the bone, and he had a grade 2 tear that turned into a grade 4 tear in his AC joint by the end of the season. And I shouldn't say this, but it can be said now. Something come through on one of those forums, and I already knew anyway, but that basically, he played a couple of games where the needles weren't even, they went in, sometimes they can go on the wrong spot and they don't work. And that happened to him in a massive game. So he played in complete agony the whole game. And that's the other thing, you just got to watch sometimes when there's players running out, when they do that footage of them running out from under the tunnel on the captain's run, some of the guys could barely fucking run if you actually watch it. Not going to name names, but coming to the end of the year, yeah. They're putting it on the line for us, guys. They put it on the line for us so much. Petey.
Names.
Reading all your comments, we've had so much spare artillery. Very exciting year ahead. Yeah, 100%, Petey. And I love how everyone's engaged in all of the players, not just the major few.
G'day, Anthony.
Welcome, Anthony. Great to see you, mate. He's watching from Facebook. And Anthony actually joined the YouTube channel, but I think because he's watching it through the Facebook feed on the Dog Father, it's not showing up. Welcome, Simon. How are you? You're a huge fan of me and Gas, are you? That's great. And you like the Bulldogs as well, or? I'm not sure where Patrick Young is from, but he'll be definitely one I'm going to do a Rising Star on. So I will be in the process of doing my research on him. But let's have a look at it. He was a standout for the club's Jersey flag side. Patrick Young got his first taste of senior football in 2025, playing 3 matches in New South Wales Cup. The talented hooker will be gunning for a first-grade berth in 2026. So there you go. That's all they've got written on him inside the Bulldogs. Looking forward to him. Scotty thinks we'll get bully. He was dirty at how West Tigers treated him or treated Galvin. Yeah, I don't know, mate. They've all got mates. He's mates with the players. A lot of the stuff they beat up in the media, allows us to make our own narratives and believe what we want to believe. But these players, they're pretty connected. They have to be. And if he's not connected with his team, he won't stay. He will be gone. But I think you'll find the connection runs a lot deeper than what people might sort of understand. We signed a good forward from the Dragons, Cody Ackers. You heard about that one?
No, I haven't, no.
NRL? No, not finding anything on him. Might have to be spelt differently or something like that. No, only Cody Ramsey comes up. So if you can find out an article or something, let us know, brother, and we'll have a look at it.
He did, didn't he, Timmy? He looked huge, and Tilly's not small either.
Keep reading it, brother.
Yep, I think he's referring to Cody. Probably played SG ball with Latu at the Dragons.
I'm just getting the team list now.
Yep. And yes, Scotty's mentioning we've got depth aplenty. It's one of those things we keep talking about, Scotty, to get to that next level, of those top teams. It's basically that depth that's going to get you there. And I think this year we're going to be in the strongest position we've been in probably for the last decade. And Timmy mentions that Lipboy looks fit as well. I think if anyone remembers, Seraldo threw the challenge out to the players as well about the off-season, about not basically just, pigging out and doing nothing. He still wanted them to come back with a certain element of fitness to start the next preseason. So it feels like, they've only been back for a few weeks, but they definitely do look like they've been, looking after themselves, even though they've been on holiday, etc. They do all look like they're, more advanced at this stage of the off season compared to, how other teams would, especially in the previous days. So the players are definitely hungry. They've got a taste of what it's like to lead the comp, but now they want to win the comp. Because, they would have sat back and watched the grand final, looked at these other games and thought, we almost beat Melbourne. We're good enough. We just needed a bit of luck, like Michael said, and we could have got the job done. So I don't think they want to, lose too many chances if they can. While they're all together, there's a good team there. Everything's set up for them. I think they want to try to finish off the job sooner than later and maybe start a dynasty like the Panthers. Who knows? So we can all dream and hope.
Just getting back to the question on Corey Ackers. It's not Cody, it's Corey. At the end of 2020, so 2025, it was on a development deal, and the Dragons actually were trying to change his deal to be a New South Wales Cup deal, which apparently didn't go down too well. That stuff happens all the time at the Bulldogs. Happens at all clubs. Some clubs just keep it under wraps, some don't. But that was the last sort of information on him publicly. There's been nothing since then in any of the Google searches I've done. So, but he was definitely considered a real talent and part of that SG Ball 2024 team that beat the Bulldogs. Timmy says Lipboy's looking fit.
Yep, covered that. Kangaroo, he did one a couple of weeks ago and left out about 5 players that should have been in there as well. I think the reserve grade team is actually a harder team to pick than the first grade team. So we can continue to look at that after Christmas, but it is a pretty, if they do play their team, they're going to be a tough team to beat as well.
Yeah, it's going to be hard, but we'll lead that in. We'll I'll do that pre-work, and I'll have that side. I'll have my predicted teams for first grade and New South Wales Cup when they come back from pre-season. Come back from Christmas. We'll look at all that stuff. We'll also have a look at what the first grade team's going to look like. Might start that maybe the 2nd or 3rd week of January and run that until, an hour before kickoff is when that'll be finalised. So sent out the prize last year. I'll have some prizes up for grabs for that as well. Be looking to get more people involved in that. I think we had about 100 entries last year. The year before, there was about 80. So, look, I'll be looking to get a lot more than that. And a big shout out. We've got 2,000 subscribers on YouTube now. Big thank you to everyone who's joined the channel. The actual people paying a monthly contribution for that as well. Thank you very, very, very much. I am trying to look to go to Patreon. Just getting my head around that as well. But I've uploaded a little bit of stuff to there. And that has different membership tiers and stuff. But I wouldn't suggest to join it yet, although you can if you wanted to. Just until I've got everything up there and I 100% understand the platform. So there you go. What else are we doing here? What else is on here?
Keep coming down, mate. So, Decorrupted is on. G'day.
Thank you, Jason.
Both great. Yep. Favorite round, Simon's Winston's favorite round 20 when we beat the Dragons almost by, I think that would have been the Galvin cutout at the end there, the floater over the top. Yep. Put Leo on the back fence. Hopefully he still goes to Vegas.
What do you think about the new jersey?
I like it. I like what they've done so far. Like, I think the more I see these logos, the more it's grown on me a lot. So, and if you're watching the countdowns I've been doing, you can see some of the old logos. I mean, in 77, they also did one just for 1 year. And then they've gone back to another one that they had. But look, I think the main thing is that it's not sort of put into sort of an emblem or a sort of anything, closed off. The fact that it's just a head like that, we've had some worse ones than this, I feel, and people haven't, it's just been the way it is. All it took was a couple of people to do a Lockie Galvin, basically, to say a few negatives, and too many others jumped on board. But if you ask the same people now, what's that been? 6 weeks since November 1 when they launched it. There's been a lot of people changing their mind and got their head around it, and everyone would have been getting all their new member packs as well, arriving, all their gear, their bags, and whatever you've got, and it looks really good on there. So it's it's great. So make sure you're following the dogs and everything like that. So it's really good the way they've presented everything, and they've shown the history there as well. You can see, and that's only a summary of the logo. It's not even all of them. So it's the dogs are they're going to go with it unless they don't have to. But it's not the first time. It's not the first time they've gone and done a logo and kept it only for 1 year. So it's good, but it's good to see the players have recognised this year inside the pack. So if you can all see that, see a couple of players there.
Yep.
So
Josh Jackson has them, Terry and Jimmy.
Jimmy, yep. So so I think they've done a great job with the pack this year and the quality. Even this bag I was so impressed with. This will be coming to game day. Great to bring your stuff along and your drinks and everything. Throw it on the back. So it's good job there. But the new logo, I think guys, just embrace it, get on with it, and let's go. There was a logo we all hated a few years back that lasted 1 year, but we won the grand final that year. So who knows? Who knows?
All right, guys. We'll be going for about 5 more minutes, and then we'll finish it up for the night. Couple more questions on here. Simon wants to know if we missed Toby Sexton. Oh, look, I think Toby might have been a bit of a good luck charm for us for a bit, but we'll see how that pans out, and all the best to him. He'll be a Perth Bear after he's a Catalans Dragon, and all the best to to Toby. Timmy saying, will I name a Jersey flag side as well? I may or may not, Timmy. I'm not sure. I'm sure I'll have a look through it. But it's hard with the Jersey flag side, man, because you've got, you got a side where they start with a side, but they're also waiting for a few SG ball players to come in that they may want to keep down in there for a little bit, help them out. So it's just a completely evolving piece. So I sort of leave it at the cup and first grade to start the year.
Haven't
Has
seen
the draw been
that
released?
Yet. Haven't seen it yet. Have a look maybe?
No, the 2026 draw is not released as yet. But I was told there's going to be a like a magic round. It might even be round one. Like a New South Wales Cup magic round thing. Where they actually, I think there'll be a heap of SG ball, Jersey flag, Andrew Johns. I think there's teams from heaps of different grades are going. I heard something about it. I can't quite remember. My brain's a bit full on at the moment. Simon, in 25 against Melbourne, do you think Harry Grant should have been to the sin bin after the high shot on Galvin? 100% he should have. Anyone puts a high shot on our players, they should be sent off. End of story. But yeah, look, I honestly, I need to go watch it again to give you an honest answer. You have a great week too, Scotty. Thanks for joining.
See you, Scotty.
Your logo. Yeah. Put your money away, Timmy, and wait for little things to go on sale, and that's how you do it, brother. James got his pack yesterday, just waiting for his name jersey.
Yep.
What name did you get, Jimmy? What name? Jimmy James?
Is the 11 a giveaway there? Who knows?
You got Preston on your back, or you got Critter on your back? Who are you going to have on your back?
Carraz.
Oh, Carraz. There you go. Pour me some Shiraz.
Anybody know what number I would get? Let's see who's been paying attention. Anybody know what number I would get on my jerseys?
23, brother. Did I get it right? Yay.
Yeah.
Number 23, Michael Jeffrey Jordan. You have a great week too, Timmy.
See you, Timmy.
All right, I think that'll do us.
Thanks a lot, guys.
We'll have an outro playing, so you stick around to watch that. You can put some further questions in, but shout out to everyone who was on the podcast tonight. Really good engagement, much appreciated, and we'll talk soon. And I've got a song about Jacob Preston you can listen to on the way out. There you go.
See you guys.
Lost in darkness, the Bulldogs lost their way. Losing everything and forgot how to play. Along came the kid with long blonde hair. His name is Jacob Preston, do not despair. Doggies fans, are you ready? Ready? Yes, we are ready. Here we go. WrestleMania, mania. WrestleMania, mania. Memories of Barrett's boys hurt us as we hang our heads in shame. There's indeed left us without a blue sky and more scapegoats to blame. But the rival of Presto and a new hungry Bulldogs breed will leave these nightmare memories for dust as they look for opponents to meet. Doggies fans, are you ready? We're ready, yes we are ready. Here we go. WrestleMania, mania. WrestleMania, mania. He came in 2023. He He won all the awards and embarrassed some frauds or free, tackling until his last breath, running harder than much bigger men. WrestleMania has led the way. WrestleMania is here to stay. WrestleMania.